The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. Chapter 25. In Santa Claus's Castle. Joe got to the car first. "Quick!" he cried. "I can hear Oom Boom Boom coming. He must have got free." And so he had. He appeared at the door of his peculiar house, and they saw that he'd freed himself by cutting his beard short. Oh, he did look very strange. The toy rabbit revved up his car, and it shot off. Almost before Saucepan was safely in, a kettle flew clanging down the road, and Saucepan groaned. "Oh, well, thank goodness that kettle's gone," said Joe. "It can't stick into me again. Oh dear, I feel I want to turn over head over heels again." "Well, you can't," said Moonface in his growly voice very firmly, "unless you want to be caught by Oom Boom Boom. He's a terrible fellow. Here, Saucepan, hang on to Joe and stop him turning head over heels in the car." It was difficult to stop him, but they did manage it. After they had gone a good way, the rabbits stopped the car for a talk, and Joe took the chance of turning about a dozen somersaults. I think that you should go to the land of Santa Claus," said the rabbit. "I do really. Not to give him to Silky, of course, that would never do, but to tell him you aren't toys and to ask him if he can stop you being what you're not." "But that's muddling," said Moonface, trying to work it out. "Yes, it seems like a good idea. After all, he deals in toys, doesn't he? He must know them very well. He'll be able to tell we're not real toys, and he might help us."
"Oh, we know he's kind," said Silky. "He's so fond of children. Oh, yes, let's go to him. How can we get there, though? This land may stay at the top of the faraway tree for some time, and the land of Santa Claus may not be the next one to arrive."
"That's true enough," said the rabbit. "Actually, the next land on the timetable is the land of squalls, which doesn't sound too good. But I'll tell you what I can do for you." "What?" asked Joe. "I can drive you to the next station and put you on the train for the land of Santa Claus," said the toy rabbit. "I happen to notice that some trains there do go to his land. What about it, friends?" "Oh, very good idea," said everyone, and off they went. They came to a funny little station after a while, and they all got out. "Oh, I wish you could stay in my land forever, Silky doll," said the rabbit to Silky. "You really are the prettiest thing I ever saw. But there, you'd be unhappy, and, I couldn't bear that."
"Well, I'll write to you," said Silky.
"Will you really?" said the rabbit. "Do you know, I've never had a letter in my life. It would make me feel important. Oh, look! There's a train in."
"Wow! It's the train that goes to the land of Santa Claus. What a bit of luck!"
growled a very excited Moonface.
"Goodbye, Rabbit. You really have been a very good friend. I'll write you too."
"Oh, my goodness! Fancy me getting 2 letters," said the delighted rabbit. "We'll all write," said Joe, shaking his furry hand warmly. "Goodbye. It's been lovely meeting you." Silky gave him a kiss, and he nearly cried for joy. "Oh, I've never been kissed before," he said. "Never. A kiss and letters. Oh, my goodness, I'm a lucky rabbit." They all climbed into the train and waved goodbye. "Nice fellow, that rabbit," said Joe. "Well, we're off again. I wonder how far it is." It was actually quite a long way, and they all fell asleep. A porter woke them up at last. "Hey, you, don't you want to get out here?" he said. "This is where toys usually get out." They scrambled out because the station board said, "Get out here for the castle of Santa Claus." "Oh, just in time," said Joe, yawning. Oh no, here I go again, turning head over heels." "Look, there's the castle," said Beth, pointing to a magnificent castle with many towers rising high on a nearby hill. "And goodness, look at the snow! Oh, anyone would think it was winter here." "Oh, it always is," said the porter. "It wouldn't be much good for sleighs, would it, if there wasn't snow? Is Santa Claus expecting you? His sleigh usually meets the train in case there are any visitors for him." "Oh,
Isn't that it down there?
asked Moonface, pointing down the snowy station yard. A sleigh was there with 4 lovely reindeer, whose bells jingled as they moved restlessly. The small red pixie held the reins. "Oh, yes, that's the sleigh. Better go and get in," said the porter. He stared hard at Silky. "Goodness, isn't that a pretty doll? I bet Santa Claus will want to put her for his own Christmas tree." They went to the sleigh and got in. "To Santa Claus, please," said Joe, and off they went, gliding smoothly over the snow, drawn by 4 eager reindeer. They arrived at the castle. They felt rather nervous when they saw how big and grand it was. They stood at an enormous door, carved with all kinds of toys and a great bell. The door swung open. "Please come in," said a teddy bear dressed like a footman. "Santa Claus will see you in a few minutes." They went into a big hall and then into a great room where many little pixies and goblins were at work. "You might like to look around while you're waiting," said the bear footman. "You'll see the pixies painting the dolls' houses and the goblins putting growls into us bears, and you'll see how the somersaults are put into clockwork clowns." "Oh, no, I don't want to see that," said Joe, feeling at once that he wanted to go head over heels again. He turned a few and then stood up. "What are those pixies doing over there?" "Ah, they're putting the hum into tops," said the footman. But don't go too near. One of the hums might get into you by mistake, and that's such a nuisance, you know." They stood at a safe distance watching. It was very interesting indeed. So many things were going on. There was so much to see and hear that they were almost forgetting that they were actually toys themselves.
"How's your growl, Bear?"
said a little pixie, running up to Moonface. He pressed him in the middle, and Moonface growled deeply.
"Grrr, leave me alone. I don't like people doing that. Grrr."
"Oh, look! Oh, look! Isn't that Santa Claus himself?" cried Beth suddenly, as a big man came into the room dressed in bright red. He wore a hood trimmed with white, and his jolly face had eyes that twinkled brightly. "Yes, it's Santa Claus!" cried Joe. Santa Claus heard him and came over at once. He looked at everyone in surprise, and even more in surprise at Silky. "Why," he said, "where did you come from? You weren't made in my castles by pixies and goblins. You are the loveliest doll I've ever seen. I've a good mind to keep you for myself and put you at the very top of my big Christmas tree."
No, please not,"
said Silky. Santa Claus looked down at the others. He seemed puzzled.
"Where do you all come from?" he said. "I am quite sure I have never had any toys made like you. The rabbit, dressed in kettles and saucepans, for instance, and this funny little bear. He doesn't seem like a proper teddy."
"No, we're not proper toys," said Beth. "Santa Claus, we got turned into toys in the fort of toy soldiers. I'm a little girl, really."
"And I'm Moonface, who lives at the top of the faraway tree," said Moonface. "What? The famous Moonface, who has a slippery slip in his room going down the tree from top to the bottom?" cried Santa Claus. "My goodness, I've often wanted to see that. Do you think I'm too fat to go down it?" No, I don't think so," said Moonface, looking at him. "I can give you 2 cushions to sit on instead of 1. If you'd like to come now, you can go up and down the faraway tree as often as you'd like. We'll haul you up in the washing basket every time you arrive at the bottom, and you can slide down again from the top."
"Oh, let's go now," said Santa Claus in delight. Well, to think I'm meeting the famous Moonface at last. And I suppose this lovely doll is Silky the Fairy, and of course, this is the old saucepan man."
"But how do you know us?"
asked Moonface, astonished.
Oh, I've heard about you from the children, said Santa Claus. They keep asking me for books about you to go into their Christmas stockings, and they look so exciting that I read them all. I did want to meet you.
Well, wasn't that a bit of luck? Santa Claus called his sleigh and they all got in.
To the top of the faraway tree, commanded Santa Claus, and away they went.
It didn't take very long. In quite a little while, the sleigh landed on a broad bough near the top of the tree, and they all got out.
My room is a bit higher up, said Moonface,
and led the way. They were soon in his little round room. He pointed to the curious hole in the middle of the floor.
There you are, he said. That's the slippery slip. It goes round and round from top to bottom of the tree. You fly out of the trapdoor at the bottom and land on soft cushions of moss.
Oh, splendid, said Santa Claus.
Will somebody else go first, please? Goodness, it's exactly the same as I read about in the books.
Do you think you could just change us back to our ordinary selves? Asked Joe, afraid that in his excitement Santa Claus might forget to do what they so badly wanted. I feel as if I'm going to turn a somersault again, and I don't want to turn head over heels all the way down the slippery slip.
Change you back? Oh, yes, of course, it's easy, said Santa Claus. The slippery slip is just the right place for a spell. Shut your eyes, please.
They all shut their eyes. Santa Claus touched each one gently, chanting a curious little song.
Go in as you are, come out as you are. Go in as you are, come out as you were.
They opened their eyes. Moonface got a cushion and pulled Beth onto it. He gave her a tremendous push, and she shot down the slippery slip at top speed, round and round, and then out she flew through the trapdoor at the bottom and landed on a tuft of moss. Oh, she said, breathless. Oh, I'm myself again. Yay, I'm not a stiff-jointed doll anymore, and I can shut and open my eyes properly. She got up, and out of the trapdoor flew Joe. Joe, look, you're all right again. You're you, cried Beth in delight. And here comes Silky. She's not a doll anymore. And here's Franny. She's all right too. Oh, look out, look. Here's the old saucepan man. Yippee! He's back to normal.
And he's lost his floppy ears, said Silky. Oh, I'm rather sorry. I liked him with those long ears. Good old saucepan.
And then, whoosh, the trapdoor shot open with a bang, and out sailed Santa Claus, his hood on the back of his head. Bump! He went onto the cushion of moss and sat there, panting, full of delight.
What a thrill! What a thrill! Oh, better than anything I've got in my castle.
Look out! Here comes Moonface, cried Joe. And out came Moonface. No longer a fat, growly teddy bear, but his own beaming self once more.
Oh, I'd like to do that again, said Santa Claus, standing up. How did you say we got back to the top of the tree? In a basket?
Yes, said Joe, but if you don't mind, we won't come with the others. You see, our mother will be wondering about us, so, well, we'd better say goodbye and thank you very much.
Oh, goodbye. See you next Christmas, said Santa Claus. I'll bring something extra nice. Here comes the basket. Let down a rope. How do we get in? Do we get in?
The last thing that Joe, Beth and Franny saw was Santa Claus in a big basket, being pulled slowly up by all the squirrels at the top of the tree. Moonface and Silky and Saucepan were with him, leaning over the edge of the basket, waving to them. Well, I suppose dear old Santa Claus will be getting down that slippery slip and going up again and getting back down again until it's dark, said Joe. Oh dear, surely I'm not going to turn head over heels again. I feel just like it. Oh, you'll soon get out of that habit, said Beth. I still feel as if I want to walk stiffly like a doll. Oh, goodness, wasn't that an adventure? Well, maybe, strange to say, but I think maybe we'll never have a better one, said Franny. Oh, yes, you will, Franny, Beth and Joe. You just wait and see. And that is the end of that chapter. So as they make their way home and they go to see their mother and they go to bed, can you make a guess as to what the next land they visit might be? And what do you think is going to happen on their next adventure? Will it ever be as exciting as the one they just had? Well, we'll find out in the next chapter. Bye-bye.